Hi guys, it's Cindy Lietz, your Polymer Clay Tutor, and today's PCT product demo. I'm going to unbox for you the brand new kit from Penn State Industries. It's a pen making poly clay starter set. Now, I don't know if it was more than a year ago or so, a while back anyways, I did a tutorial on making pens that looked like a faux burl wood. And I actually used pen blanks from Penn State. And so, and here's another one here, example of a keychain that I made Doug using the same techniques and blanks that were from Penn State as well. Well, when I heard that they were coming out with a pen making kit specifically for polymer clayers, I wanted to do a review on it. So they sent it to me. So I'm going to unbox it for you, show you everything that's in the kit and what my opinions and everything are on everything that's there. All right, so this is how the kit comes. It is, I've got it listed in the catalog here. It is, if you add up all the prices, it comes to over $150 or $147 or something like that for all the different individual pieces. But if you buy it as a kit, it's like $99. And these are all the things that are in it. And now I'll show you those things. I just thought I would explain that to you first. So in this kit is a bunch of different things. Okay, so there's some instructions here on what is included in the kit, how to actually make the pens and all the different tools involved. And the pens that there's actually several pen blanks in here, and you'll end up making a pen that looks similar to this, especially if you use the canes that are involved. So there's some instructions and things on here for how to do it. I may do a demo using the pen blanks at some point, but I'm going to today just show you what's in the kit and talk about it. Okay, so the first thing in here is a pack of 2 polymer clay blades for cutting canes and cutting out your clay and that kind of thing. There is a package of sanding blocks and sets. So inside here, this is all geared towards using with polymer clay. So there's some instructions and stuff in here, but they have some sanding discs, which are kind of a neat shape. They're soft on one side and the paper's on the other. There's several grits here. So there's 220, 400, 320, so 220, 320, 400, and 600. So these are the good shaping size grits. And then there are some sanding sponges. I haven't opened these up yet. And they are various grits as well, more for the polishing side. So let's see what's in here. There is 4,000 grit. Let's see what's the lowest. Okay, so 500 grit. So that would be your next one after you did the 400. Then there is 1,000 grit, 2,000 grit, and 4,000 grit. So the higher the number of the grit is, the finer the polishing. These are quite neat feeling. I bet they're great. I haven't tested them yet, obviously, because they're brand new. So that's in the kit there. So that would definitely get you done with the sanding and the polishing part. Now this is the pen blanks. There are 5 different pen sets in here. They are the executive style pen kit. Each pen kit, the way these kits work, if you're not familiar with them at all, there's like a brass barrel. This is the area that you would put your polymer clay onto. And then you would bake it on there, sand it and everything, and then you would put all your pen pieces together. They do have a picture in the book what the finished pens kind of look like. This is just the catalog. Where is it? These are this is the executive style pens here. This is done with using wood, but that's what the pen looks like when it's all put together. And in this set, there's 5 of those. I got 3 chrome ones and 3 24 karat gold ones, which is cool. There is 2 packs of polymer clay. This is black and white. It looks like 2-ounce packages. They feel firm, but they feel soft, so it's fresh clay. I haven't worked with this particular brand. It looks like maybe a brand that they're having made for them. And this would be the base that you would put underneath the cane slices that I will show you next. Now in this pack, and I think this is really clever how they packaged this, there are 5 different polymer clay canes. And let me just show you them. So they're raw canes that they're already designed. So this is geared towards somebody who is, this kit really was designed for the woodworker that has done a lot of wood pens and that kind of thing, and then has decided to add polymer clay to it. Or somebody who has been doing a lot of polymer clay and they wanted to start making pens. So it's an interesting set. But these are canes. So this one here is, the design is called Blooming Daisy. And I'll just pop it out of this tube. So this is a raw cane. It feels pretty firm but soft. I mean, squishy enough that you can tell it's fresh clay. So I'll slice into that in a second and see what that's like. But it is 3/4 of an inch wide and 3 inches long. This is a good way to package them. It keeps them from getting damaged. There's also one called Mixed Bouquet, and hopefully Doug will be able to see this one. But it's done millefiori style, so which means million flowers or 1,000 flowers. So it's got all tiny little designs of flowers inside there. It's quite nice. A lot of people don't want to make their own canes, so this is a great way to start using canes without having to make them yourself. This one is a watermelon cane. Watermelon canes are neat because you can slice them whole, or you can slice little wedges of them and then they look like little wedges of watermelon. And a cane this size, you're going to get loads and loads of slices from something like that. It can go a long, long ways. And if you don't even know what a cane is, because some of you might be coming here without ever seeing a polymer clay cane, this cane design, you can see, goes all the way through the whole cane. And you can actually reduce it. I have some videos and things on reducing canes. You can make this different sizes if you like, but the pattern goes all the way through. So no matter how many times you slice it, you're getting the same picture every time. This design is called Wildflower. It's pretty. Quite a usable one. This one is, oh, that was watermelon already. And the last one that comes with the kit is called Stained Glass. And this one I'll have to hold still for a second. It's got a lot of neat little tiny stained glass kind of detail. And if you look in the catalog or online, they have lots and lots of canes that they have available right now. So that's those. So there's 5 of those. That'll keep somebody going. There's also an acrylic roller. This is a 5-inch one, so it's a little bit smaller than the standard larger one. And it's a little bit, diameter-wise, it's only 3/4 of an inch. But it's plenty big enough for making pens and most projects. So that's nice that it's in there. Oh, this goes with this other part, so I'll talk about this first. This is a cane slicer. This is quite a clever thing. They've obviously had this designed for their projects here. And what you do is you take your cane, and I might, if we get enough time here, I might demo it in a sec. But you take your cane and you put it inside one of these slots, and then you slide it out the distance that you want to slice it, and then you take the clay blade, this one, out of its package obviously, and then you slice through it. And this will keep it straight and giving you nice even slices. They've got quite a few little notches here. They've got so they have that size there, which is about a 3/4 of an inch. And then it goes a little bit smaller and then even smaller. So if you reduce your cane down smaller, you can use that. And the nice thing about the shaped thing at the bottom is it keeps it from getting distorted when you slice through it. So it doesn't squash the bottom of your thing. And then they also have a slot for square canes as well. It's quite a simple but practical design. I think that's quite clever. They must have been watching my videos. They have an oven thermometer in here, which is fabulous. Not that oven thermometers, it's not that oven thermometers are impossible to find or anything, but people don't realize how important they are to use. And this one is in the kit right away. It gets you getting your oven to the proper temperature and baking properly right from the start. I did notice on this package of clay that the temperature range is interesting. So I'm not sure what kind of clay this is exactly, but the temperature range is from 275 to 300, which is a little bit like Kato poly clay, a little higher. It's higher than Primo. Primo's at 275. But there's like almost no smell to it. So it's not a Kato poly clay, it's a different brand altogether. So it'll be interesting. I'd like to try that brand out. This is super clever. When I opened up the box, I just was so surprised by how simple and smart idea this is. Okay, so this is called Polyclay pen tube size cutters. And it comes in 7mm, 8mm, 3/4, all these different sizes. Then what they are rectangular cookie cutters. And they fit exactly the different sizes of pen blanks. So you're going to need, hopefully they have a picture here somewhere. Yeah. What you do basically is you roll out a bit of clay. You take your slices of the canes, you lay it on top, you make a pattern sheet, and then you can cut it out with these cutters. And you'll end up with a piece that, they don't show that step, but is exactly the right size and width and length to wrap around your brass tube. So the brass tube, again, I'll remind you what it looks like, is right here. So those cutters fit exactly. So the nice thing about that, you could always cut straight lines. It's not impossible, but it's nice to be able to take the cutter, put it exactly on the piece of clay that you like, exactly where the pattern is. You know you're going to be the right length, the right width, and everything else, rather than having to measure it out. It's very simple, very smart. And I noticed that in their catalog, if you want to buy these separate from the kit, they're only like $6 for the set. So if you already have a lot of this kind of stuff, or if you're not into making pens, you may just want to buy one. Well, actually, you kind of need to be making the pens to need the cutter. But if you have been making pens and you have some of the other stuff, then this is just a really clever idea. I'm really happy about that. Here is another thing that they have in their set. It is called a universal mandrel. And I'll open it up. This is because of all of those woodworkers and the people that use lathes. What you do is you take I think they also have that in a picture here. You take your baked, well, they'd suggest you bake on here, but I wouldn't. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But you take your tube and you slide it onto this mandrel. And you can attach the mandrel to either a power drill or a lathe. So I think there's another better picture on the front here where there's a gentleman using the mandrel in his lathe. That way you can sand it by just holding onto it. It spins. You can just wrap your sandpaper around it and get a beautiful even finish all the way around, lickety split. So that's a really cool thing that I have not seen any other polymer clay company do, as bring it into the kind of the tool and the woodworking arena. Now these particular bushings here get slid on either side and actually fit right onto that brass channel so that it all slides on here and everything's nice and tight. This end can go into a power drill. And I want to test that all out and see what I think, but it's a very simple concept. This here, this mandrel is like $14 or $15 or something if you want to buy it separately. So that's really clever as well. And then the last thing in the box is a tempered glass cutting grid. So basically, a lot of you have already seen me talk about my favorite glass mat. It's like a We Are Memories Keeper glass mat. Well, this is the same kind of concept, only smaller. I'll leave this styrofoam behind it so you can see it. It's a tempered glass. It's really thick. The design's on the back so you don't have to worry about scratching it. And you can roll your clay on here. You can cut on here. There's a nice grid. And it's a nice size. So if you have a small workspace and you don't want to use the larger We Are Memory Keepers one, then something like this is a really great little size. So this kit really basically has everything that you're going to need to work with polymer clay. And if you wanted to make pens, you can already make 5 pens from the set. And it's just, I'm actually really impressed. It's a good kit, even if you weren't going to be making pens. Though why wouldn't you if you had the pens in there? There's a lot of neat things as well. So, and you can buy each of the pieces individually. And I just think they've really put some thought into it, and it's a worthwhile kit. Now, I have most of these things, and I make my own canes. So the 2 things I would buy is the mandrel and the cutters, these little cutters. So those are the 2 things I would have bought if, because I have everything else. But for those of you who are just starting out, I think it's a really, it's well priced. Each of the items are well priced, even individually, and then you get a deal if they're all put together. So I actually really recommend this one. It's a neat one. So hopefully in the future I'll get a chance to test out the mandrel and do some other things and do some videos on that as well. But let me know if that's something that you'd really like to see. I'd love to see those in the comment section below. And if you do like this video, do click that thumbs up button and like and subscribe and share and do all those great things that we do on these social sites. All right, so if you have any suggestions for future projects, that kind of thing, leave those in the comment section below as well. And we will see you next time. All right, bye for now.